How did the decision with Buck come about?
How did what?
The decision with Buck come about?
Well, the way it works, when you bring in a president of baseball ops, they're entitled to bring in their own people. And, obviously wasn't sure if David was going to join us, and finally he joined us. And, it became clear that, he wanted to go in a different direction, and that's certainly his right. And I gave him that right. It's no different than when a CEO comes into a new company, right? They bring in some of their own people. This is not a reflection on Buck. Buck did everything we wanted him to do. Obviously the season was a disappointment, but it's not Buck's fault, okay? It's spread across the organization. And but like I said, when you bring in a new head of baseball ops, they're entitled to bring in their own people.
To follow up on that, Steve, do you and David have someone in particular in mind, or is this going to be a full, exhaustive search?
Well, I've tried to keep it really high level with David. And he'll be, obviously starting tomorrow. And so, these are really his decisions. I've empowered him. And so he'll make that decision.
How would you just overall evaluate Buck's tenure here?
Something, obviously, it's 2 years. We had a great season last year. This year, obviously, didn't go the way we wanted to go. Buck did everything we wanted him to do. Not everything went right this year, and yet he kept an even keel. The players loved him. And, these are always hard things to do. And so, I personally have no complaints. I enjoyed, I loved having Buck here. I think he did a fine job. These are never easy decisions. And, but like anything else, just because someone wants to go a different way doesn't make the other person, a bad person, right? Just a matter of choice and personal preference.